and even for student participation in developing the curriculum at the school, which we even allow students to give their input on what our classes are going to be, what the electives are going to be, and all of those types of things. In addition to that, we encourage our students to participate in other aspects of forming our school, and especially in the past few years as it's been new. So we have a student senate at the school where the students are involved in making decisions, and as you well know, Maureen, they've made proposals to you about the student handbook, the code of conduct, the dress code even.
Yes.
And the students actually then are participating in forming how the school is run and creating the culture at the school, and thereby learning leadership skills themselves as they go along.
That's great.
And in addition, we get the students working outside of the school as much as we can as well. And we've taken students to New York for an appearance on Fox and Friends. We've also asked students to testify to the New Hampshire State Legislature on legislation, and those students actually successfully changed the law by one word, but a very important word in the state of New Hampshire, and I'll tell you more about that later.
Very good. Yeah, that was a very exciting time.
Indeed.
How about giving our viewers an overview of the curriculum, something that in the classroom, and as the former chairman of the humanities department, you had a big role in. You actually at one time chaired the curriculum committee.
Sure.
So just give an overview on that, starting with the name of the curriculum and what that entails.
Okay. So our curriculum is called the Founding Fathers Character and Leadership Curriculum. Okay, and so what we really want to do is we want to emphasize the values that America is based on in our curriculum. And then, of course, two of the themes at our school, character development and leadership skill development. So one of the things that separates the Founders Academy from other public schools, probably more than anything else, is the emphasis on history. And I can remember the graduation requirements for history classes at other schools being 2.5 credits in 4 years of high school, or maybe 3 credits. And at the Founders Academy, it was decided that the students would need 5 credits in history in order to successfully meet the requirements for graduation. And then in addition to that, the students are asked to take challenging courses in all of the other subject areas, and the students are even asked to participate in a daily class called Roundtable, which is part of the curriculum. It is a real class rather than a general homeroom or advisory type class where we just do announcements and take attendance, where the students participate in discussion about all kinds of subject areas, many times things that they themselves are interested in discussing with their teachers and fellow students.
That's great. One of the themes, too, in relation to the school's mission is character building. How is that emphasized at Founders?
Well, upon the school opening, the students actually participated in the creation of our school's code of conduct. Okay, and so there's a list of things that we expect our students to be. These oftentimes are reviewed in roundtable classes, and every classroom in the school has these posted in the school, and they're referenced by the teachers, by the administration, and as time has gone on, even often referenced by the students in their expectations for behavior around the school. And we know behavior in any school setting, especially any public school, is a challenge for teachers and for administrators. But we give the students this sense of ownership of their own behavior, their own expectations for conduct, and we emphasize how important it is for those positive character traits to be developed. And then we also grade students. All of the teachers give students grades, character grades at the end of every quarter. And that gives not only the students some feedback on what they could do to improve their own character development, but the parents as well, always working in conjunction with parents. And the students then are able to kind of reflect on themselves, and the teachers are as well. And the hope is that we create an atmosphere there where everybody is working together towards a common goal. and doing so in a way that promotes kindness and understanding. And I would say it's eliminated many of the problems that I've seen at other public schools or that you might hear about throughout the country.
Great to hear. It's such a special place.
Indeed.
Can I add to that?
Oh, sure.
The reason that we have emphasized character so much is laid down by the founders. Every single one of them that you read has a comment, hundreds of comments, on the only way that we can keep the republic that they created is with citizens who are virtuous. That's the word that they use.
Exactly.
And I could read 100 quotes. Let me just read one from Ben Franklin. Only a virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become more corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. And I could read, I have a list here of many, many others, from John Adams, from George Washington, from Thomas Jefferson, from all of them. So the challenge that they've set down for us is how to keep this republic. As Franklin said, we have created a republic if you can keep it. And so I took up that challenge, and we all have taken up that challenge. And so the center of the school has to be the character of the students. And I think that although in a world where that's kind of an old-fashioned concept, it's hard to get buy-in from everybody, I think we are more and more succeeding in doing so. And not only do we have this code of conduct in every classroom and refer to it many times, but we're going to also be starting an effort where students themselves are dealing with the conduct of other students, not for the purpose of punishing, but for the purpose always of building character. And all our discipline is carried out in that manner.
Yeah.
And it's so neat to see that combination where students are involved in all of the aspects of developing character, and because they're involved in it, they're also developing their own skills in leadership. And I see that happen in the Senate all the time too. And that's one of the things we really try to do as well. And that was a great quote you shared, Patty. A weekly quote is another way that we try to emphasize character. Again, posted in every classroom, and the students and teachers discuss the quotation together, oftentimes similar to what Patty just read.
Now, our students read the primary documents.
Yes.
And that's a big reason why you came to Founders. But why else? Why did you decide to teach at Founders?
Well, I have to tell you, Maureen, before I started at Founders, I would have been in the group that you were talking about earlier that didn't know much about charter schools. I had heard of charter schools. I knew they existed, but I didn't know exactly what they were. And as I've continued to be involved and learn more and more, it's such a great idea and such a great opportunity for teachers and for students. I mean, one of the things that is often discussed in educational circles and politics and in policy is that we want to give teachers more freedom, and we want to give kids more freedom. And we talk about the Founders Academy as a charter school based on liberty, right, and government and history and all of that. And yet we have a educational system in which everything is determined for you before you even begin. And the Founders Academy changes that a little bit. It's really a step in the right direction for education, to give people choices and to give them opportunities. For me, to have the opportunity to really develop my own curriculum, to have a voice in developing the curriculum of the school, something that I had never even considered before. Master's degree in education, over a decade of experience, and here I'm learning I can actually teach what I think is important for the students, and the students can choose whether or not they think that's important as well. And if we're going to teach them about freedom, shouldn't we practice it as well?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so, we've told this story before about hearing you discussing on a radio program about the Founders Academy and really trying to get the word out to potential students, and I was listening, and I thought, wow, what an amazing opportunity this would offer, and got in touch with you. And I just knew I had to teach there. And we had met within a week of that. So it was really neat.
Amazing. You know, the school's website is more comprehensive than most schools. We have on there our curriculum, bios on our teachers, the mission statement, you know, an introductory message from myself where I talk about the mission and so on, clubs that are available, people who have been to our school. We have a list of distinguished guests. I would encourage everyone to go to the foundersacademy.org and check it out. We've been told by numerous people that it goes above and beyond getting information out about what goes on in our buildings and in our classroom. Well, as I warned you both before we began, the time in the studio goes faster than any other place on earth left.
Very good. A great story about students getting involved in the process of their own education and learning, you know, real life skills and leadership and all of that. So John Stark, a New Hampshire revolutionary hero, he has a special holiday, and as the law was written for years, schools were supposed to celebrate this holiday with educational opportunities on the fourth Monday in April each year. And the students realized that the fourth Monday in April always falls on their spring break. And so how can we celebrate John Stark during spring break? We're not in session. And so they changed one word from fourth Monday to second Monday, went to the House, testified, went to the Senate, testified, and successfully got a bill through the legislature in New Hampshire. And when Governor Sununu found out about it, he said, I want to go to the school and I want to sign that bill into law with those students in a full school assembly, which he did. And it was a very proud moment for the students. And they can remember forever that they were a part of changing the law in the state of New Hampshire.
Very memorable day.
Indeed.
In fact, we've even memorialized the desk that Governor Sununu signed that bill on at the Founders Academy with a notice on it that says that the governor signed House Bill 91 on this day, on this desk in April of 2017.
Absolutely.
Patty Humphrey, Greg VanEwyk,
Yes.
thank you both so much. We could go on
My
and
pleasure.
on, but I encourage you to go to thefoundersacademy.org for more information. And we encourage you, there are many ways for members of the public to help out in all different ways. And if you'd ever like to come for a visit, we'd love to have you. Thank you very much.